Did Goku achieve Super Saiyan 4 before the events of Daima? I'm going to look at the Japanese that was spoken in the scene between Vegeta and Goku in Dragon Ball DAIMA episode 20 and explain to you what they said tells us about whether Goku achieved Super Saiyan 4 before Daima. Let's get into it. In order to figure out whether Goku had already achieved Super Saiyan 4 before Dragon Ball DAIMA, we have to look at the evidence that we have. And the only evidence that we have is the exchange that happens between Goku and Vegeta towards the end of Dragon Ball DAIMA episode 20. In this exchange, Vegeta asks Goku about Super Saiyan 4, and Goku explains a little bit, but it doesn't really explain every aspect of Super Saiyan 4. But let's see what we can conclude by looking at the original Japanese. And I speak Japanese, I understand Japanese, so I'm going to be using the words that they said in Japanese and interpreting them for you. Vegeta directly asks Goku about Super Saiyan 4. He says, "You were keeping quiet about that transformation, weren't you? You weren't telling me about it." But basically, yeah, you can translate this a bunch of different ways, but the word here that is most important is damatteta. And this is a conjugated form of damaru. Damaru just means to shut up, to be quiet. So, again, Vegeta is saying, you were keeping this to yourself, right? You weren't telling anybody about it. You were keeping quiet about it. In response, Goku says, Super Saiyan 4 no koto ka? So here we get confirmation that, yes, this form is called Super Saiyan 4. And Vegeta says, which you can just translate as, yeah. And then Goku answers by saying, Buu wa sugokatta kara na. Buu was amazing. Buu was incredible. Buu was very strong. Sugokatta is the past tense of sugoi. Sugoi can be translated as great, amazing, but in this context, I think it's okay to also translate it as strong. But basically, Buu was a very formidable opponent, a very incredible opponent. That's kind of the implication being made here. The rest of the statement goes, Ano ato tokkun shitanda. So after that, and that is the Buu saga, after fighting Buu, he engaged in tokkun. Tokkun is special training or intensive training. So put this all together and Goku is saying, yeah, well, Buu was pretty intense. So after that, I decided to engage in some special intensive training. Of course, we have no idea what kind of training he engaged in because normally he uses the word shugyo, which is kind of a interesting word in that it traces its origins back to Buddhism and like ascetic monk training. But that's kind of the standard word that Goku uses. So it's very peculiar that he uses the word tokkun to talk about training in order to achieve Super Saiyan 4. But Goku's answer doesn't end there. Here's the next thing he says. Umaku iku ka douka jishin nakatta kedo na. This, of course, can also be translated a few different ways, but basically I'll start by giving you a pretty literal translation. I wasn't confident about whether it would go well or not. In other words, he wasn't sure if it would work out or not. He wasn't sure if it would be a success or not. Thank you for putting up with that Japanese lesson. I just wanted to make sure you understood exactly what was being said in that scene. But let's get to the point. Did Goku achieve Super Saiyan 4 before the events of Daima? The answer is, we don't know.
Nani?
Because this scene is written in a rather vague way, and I'm sure it was done on purpose. I'm sure Toei wanted to keep us on our toes and kind of guessing, but we can say a couple of things here given the information that we have. First of all, this exchange between Goku and Vegeta doesn't 100% confirm that Goku did have the ability to transform into Super Saiyan 4 at will before the events of Daima. Could that be the case? Yes, it could, but we don't know for sure. But here's how I see it. What Goku is saying in this scene is, yeah, well, after Buu, I decided that I should be training because he was really strong. So you never know, right? Like I should be ready for the next big challenge. And so I figured that there might be another something beyond Super Saiyan 3, but I didn't know exactly what it was. So I just decided to give this special training a shot and see what happens. So if that's the case, then it's totally possible that yes, Goku was trying to achieve Super Saiyan 4. Maybe he even felt it coming on. He felt some kind of extra special energy within him, but he never achieved it. And it took Neva's special magical god powers to unlock it within him. Because remember, in that scene where Neva seems to unlock something within Goku, it's like he's pulling out something of his DNA, like something is going on in there that isn't just Neva healing him.
Kamehameha.
But what about Vegeta? Can he achieve Super Saiyan 4? Well, I think that, yeah, it would be a bad decision for Bandai and Toei and everybody involved with Dragon Ball to not give Vegeta Super Saiyan 4. It's only a matter of time. The question is, how will he get it? So there's the one scenario where he achieves it simply by training. And then there's the other scenario where he will need some kind of external stimulus to finally achieve it. Now, that could involve him going back to the demon realm and somehow having Neva unlock that power within him, or maybe he interacts with some other magical being. Or, here's an interesting theory, maybe Bulma ends up using the Magi Light that she gets from Pansy in the Demon Realm in the last episode of Dragon Ball DAIMA to unlock Super Saiyan 4 within Vegeta. I think that would be pretty interesting, and it would be perfectly in line with what we've seen so far. It takes a little bit of magic to unlock that extra special Super Saiyan 4, and maybe Bulma is able to harness that magic via some kind of special machine that she ends up creating, because Bulma is a genius and she can do whatever she puts her mind to.
Bingo! Bingo!
Now, I've also seen people saying that Daima can't be in the same continuity with Super because of Super Saiyan 4, and Goku says, oh, this is my maximum form, referring to Super Saiyan 3 in Battle of Gods. But here's the thing, Toei can do whatever it wants. It can, for example, include a line of dialogue at some point later on down in the timeline where Goku just says, oh, you know what? After I came back from the Demon Realm, and you know that thing that we did over in the Demon Realm and Majin Buu became the king and all that? Yeah. After I came back the next day, I tried to turn into Super Saiyan 4 and nope, I just couldn't do it. So that's it. That's all it takes. And then Vegeta wouldn't get Super Saiyan 4 until that part in the story later on in Dragon Ball Super. So it would be really, really easy to make this all work. And like I said, what Goku said does not 100% confirm that he was able to master and use Super Saiyan 4 at will before the events of Daima. But what do you think? Do you like this scene? Or are you like me where you go like, oh, come on, like at least confirm something for us. Don't just string us along. Let me know what you think down in the comments. I'm going to be doing more videos like this, breaking down Daima and Dragon Ball stuff. So make sure to subscribe, leave me a like, help me grow the channel, and I'll see you in the next one.